In this video today, I want to share the 7 best AI tools I'm using right now in every aspect of my business, including writing, marketing, and content creation. Now, those are not just minor upgrades that have completely removed my need to hire copywriters, video editors, and virtual assistants, while actually improving my business efficiency and productivity. Hi, my name's Rachel, and on this channel, we show small business owners and creators how to fast track their YouTube channel growth to get more clients faster and easier by using smart AI-powered systems. Now, with those tools, you can automate tedious tasks, slash your email response time, and produce amazing content in just a fraction of the time. Let's dive in. All right, so the first one is the famous ChatGPT, which is also the one I'm using most often every day. There are many plugins that can be used. They're called GPTs for short. All the GPTs I'm going to introduce to you later in this video, you can use them for free. First of all, I suggest you to develop your own exclusive ChatGPT. Because when we talk to AI, the better it knows about you as a person, for example, your experience, your expertise, your preferences, the better it will be able to provide you with the answers you want. So you want to start by first creating a digital clone of yourself on ChatGPT. So in order to do that, you just open ChatGPT and start a conversation. You can type in something like, I want to create a digital clone of myself, or something similar to that. And it will ask you some questions and try to collect some basic information about yourself, like how old are you? What do you do for work? So you can answer all of that. And it will start to process and analyze information about your style, your past experience, your expertise, etc. And the more detailed information you provide to ChatGPT, the better. You can even upload some photos of yourself and share some past articles you've written. And you can ask questions in the test conversations to see if it's actually what you want, right? And keep revising it until you're satisfied with the output. Now, once it's developed, it's very useful. It can help you save a lot of time. For example, if you get an email and you simply just don't have the time or you don't want to go through the process of writing a very lengthy reply, you can just copy the email, drop it in ChatGPT, and ask your digital clone to write a thoughtful response. And you just copy the response and send it, right? Literally within seconds. In addition to that, it can also help you to generate a weekly plan for work. And if you are faced with a really complex problem, you can feed ChatGPT with all the context, all the information, all the background, and it can take all of that into consideration and give you an optimal strategy or solution, which sounds scary, right? Because in the past, no one can do that except humans. Now, I want to talk about Claude, which I use almost side by side every day to ChatGPT. Now, I think in comparison to ChatGPT, Claude is certainly better in marketing and copywriting. I use Claude to generate content for my newsletters, to write the copy that goes on my sales funnels and on my websites, to come up with content for my webinar, to generate sales call script, all of that. And in comparison to ChatGPT, I generally found Claude to be stronger in writing more specific, more enticing marketing language. All right, so the next one here is Diagrams. It's an AI tool that can help you create different kinds of charts and graphs. So for example, flow charts, mind maps, or help you map out your daily workflow. Let's say, for example, if I want to track where did I spend my money last month, something that's very important we all have to track. So instead of spending an hour on different budgeting apps or working in Excel to try to come up with a chart, I can just go to Diagrams and say, hey, you know what? Here's how I spend my money. Here's the data. Map it out for me so I can see everything visually. And within seconds, Diagrams can help me draw a pie chart that looks really professional, that gives me an instant visual understanding of where my money went last month. And you can also do the same thing with time management, right? You can use Diagram to see where you spent your time last week. Now, let's talk about one of my absolute favorite AI tools that saved me thousands of dollars, the Negotiator AI. Negotiator does exactly what its name suggests. It negotiates on your behalf to help protect your interest and get better deals for yourself. And it does this with a level of strategic finesse that most of us just simply don't have when we're in the middle of a negotiation. So what I use it most often is to negotiate with my business vendors for better terms and better pricing. And if you're in the corporate world, you can use that to negotiate for your salary, your bonus, your overall package. So in order for you to get the best results in your negotiation, you need to first provide the negotiator with all the context, the background information, like who you are, what you're exactly negotiating over, what your goals are, your preference, what you can compromise on, what you cannot compromise on, and also the other party, right? For example, who are you currently negotiating against? Who is that person? What is that person's goal? And how old is that person? Is that person a man or a woman? All of that. If you practice more and use it a few more times, it will make it easier for you to win in a negotiation. Even if you don't have any active negotiations you need to do, you can always use this tool to help you figure out how to negotiate and how to argue more scientifically, because there's always going to be various things you're going to encounter in life that you would need to do that. And the next tool is what I use every single week, which is called Descript. I use Descript mainly for editing my YouTube videos. Before I found Descript, I find video editing very time consuming. So usually it takes me at least hours, if not longer, to finish editing a video, or I would pay $100 to $200 on Upwork to find a video editor to do it for me, which is not super cost effective long term. Instead of the traditional method of editing a video, which is based on every minute of the video, which is why it feels so time consuming and it feels like so much work, it allows you to edit a video like you're editing a document. So what you need to do is just edit your text transcript. And Descript will automatically edit your video to match that. And in addition to that, it will also help you to remove all the filler words, all the word gaps in one go just by clicking a button on Descript. It's so easy and it's so intelligent. It helped me save so much time. So next up are two research-based tools that completely transformed how I create fact-based content: Consensus and SciSpace. Consensus is essentially Google for scientific research. So instead of you wading through all the different pieces and different articles online and reading manually through every single opinion, so for example, if you are creating health-based content, right? And you can ask Consensus questions like, does fasting improve cognitive function? And within seconds, you can get a summary of all the different scientific studies and research findings that you can directly reference back to. Now, SciSpace is a little bit different, but it complements Consensus very well. Essentially, SciSpace allows you to upload entire research papers and ask specific questions about them. For example, if you're working on a technical video, you can upload the entire research paper to SciSpace and say, what are the main findings from this paper? And we'll give you an outline with all the major findings with clear explanations that you can easily and confidently share with your audience. Now, with these tools, I have completely removed the need to either spending hours to do research myself or hiring someone to do research for me, while actually improving the efficiency and accuracy of my content. Now, let's talk about Humanizer Pro, which has been really useful to me, because with any AI writing, it sometimes can sound robotic, right? And you can just tell it's not written by a human. Now, with Humanizer Pro, essentially how it works is you can take something you don't like. For example, if you feel like this email reply generated by ChatGPT sounds a little bit too robotic, you can plug it into Humanizer Pro, and then it will essentially transform that into a different version that talks about the same thing, but it just sounds like a human wrote it. It just makes it more casual, more natural, and more conversational. And it even mimics your personal writing style. So I use it a lot to personalize my email replies, my newsletter content, and even my video scripts. I find it working really well. So the last tool I want to talk about is called Ideogram. So it's an AI tool that helps you generate different images and pictures. Now, if you have had any experience in the past to use Canva to generate or to really create an image from scratch, you would know it's not a super easy process, right? Like, it has so many different details fitting together, and it usually takes a while. Or you need to spend money and hire someone to do it for you. Now, with Ideogram, I find it generally easier to use it than Midjourney. So for example, I can put something like this in my prompt. I want a professional woman pointing at a financial pie chart showing monthly expenses breakdown in a clean and modern style. So immediately it will generate you 4 different options that you can choose from. So I use it in a lot of different things like social posts, designing a thumbnail, presentations, or even infographics when I need them. All right, so that's everything I want to share today. If you enjoy our video today, please hit subscribe so you won't miss another video from me, and I'll see you in the next video.